This message, it's a repetition and emphasis of what has already been said, which is something that I do in many of my videos. But this message is for Fankhanel. Does anybody remember Fankhanel many years ago? He was the deputy chief of up in probation, the federal U.S. probation office of Puerto Rico. Like 9 years ago, I think it was 9, 10 years ago, he was the deputy chief again of probation here in Chardon Avenue. He was a pretty nice guy. I had a lot of conversations with him. I believe he's teaching at University of Puerto Rico. My point is, and my message to you is for you to understand that I'm still amazed. Uh, I'm still amazed that your relative, the current, what a coincidence, the current deputy chief of probation of Puerto Rico, and I'm not going to say there's any nepotism in this case, even though he got to that position pretty quickly and pretty easily, just for just for him being a little browner in the skin than yourself. But Fankhanel Ray, the current deputy chief of U.S. probation of Puerto Rico, you might want to sit down with him and ask him and question him on the phobia that he has when it comes to your group of people. Because again, comments, humor, when it comes to your community, Mr. Fenghanel, if it's wrong for one person, it's wrong for all persons. No, I'm not gonna lie. I make fun of everybody. There's this joke that I heard many years ago in Florida, back in the 90s actually, where a comedian said, "I'm not prejudiced. I hate everybody." Which was kind of funny because, yeah, when you hate everybody equally, that means you have no prejudice against no one particular group. And in my humor, I make fun of all people: gay, black, Hispanic, white, Cuban, Puerto Rican, Dominican. Again, I don't care. Humor is humor. And the last time I checked, in comedy, you can say whatever the heck you want. But it's weird how at the federal government here in Puerto Rico, only certain people, like myself, will get penalized for making such jokes. Um, some might argue, well, you're not supposed to use your work phone for to share jokes of that nature. Well, okay, that's fair, but you should not use the federal facilities for the same thing, or federal work hours when you should be working uh, and being a professional at all times. So Ray's language, his humor, and I'll say it again, along with Gabby, many years ago, yeah, their comments you can say were a bit phobic, but nobody's gonna care when it comes to him. That's why he's still there. Nobody's gonna make a big deal out of him. But again, what really bothers me the most, because it does, is that he's a family member of yours and he's making fun of you, or was making fun of you at the time, along with Gabby. And Gabby, if you're listening, I have nothing against you personally, but you know the jokes, you remember. And again, I'm not judging any of you guys when it comes to reality when it comes to humor of this type. What I am saying is that it's not fair when jokes of this nature are used against you, but it's only being applied to some people and not all. Only some people get penalized and not all. So like I've said before, the moral consistency for U.S. District Court is not there. Like I said before, even in email, he without sin cast the first stone. Well, nobody's stoning Ray, your relative. That is, if he is still married to your niece, I believe. I'm not sure. So once again, Mr. Fankhanel, you might want to sit down with him and ask him, hey, how true is it what is being said about you on YouTube? Now, I have to say alleged just to cover my butt, although it's in my disclaimer. But once again, I know what I heard. I was there when he and Gabby and others were joking about you acquiring a license to marry, quote, quoting them, patos, which I believe is fags in English. That's the right translation of the word fag, F-A-G. So the question is, who's laughing now? In all this humor and all these investigations that we investigate, that we target individuals that we don't like necessarily, who's laughing now at those jokes? And this is something that people like Carlina should also be laughing at. And Louis T up in probation, the guy that supervises the support team. I mean, if he's still there. And any other member of the gay community. Hey, let's laugh. Let's laugh all together at Ray's and Gabby's uh, pato jokes of a few years ago. Let's all laugh together. Let's see how funny that is for your deputy chief of probation to make and contribute and laugh along, not only at his own relative, but also of many members that are working there. So when these guys sit in their offices and they give this image of proper behavior and proper conduct and proper language, and they project that out there, like if they were true moral um, standard bearers. In reality, it's a humongous hypocrisy. And I hope Judge Arias um, becomes aware of these realities. So you can also sit him down and also say, now let's focus on you, Mr. Ray. Now let's focus on you for your jokes, for your not only jokes of the gay community, but also of you allegedly sleeping with a certain Jocelyn while you're married and you're supposed to be an example, a moral example for the courts. So again, again, people, I know nobody likes the truth. I know people are probably hating me for speaking the truth. You should hate somebody when they lie. That's what should be done. That's where hatred should be directed. When people lie or when people make believe they're moral, when people make believe there's something they're not. And hey, I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. But that's the point here. That's the point. If nobody's perfect, why do we judge? Uh, why do we judge just some people for the same imperfections that everybody has? Why? Unless you're targeting. You see? You see my point here? You see my point here? It's a form of retaliation because you don't like somebody's opinion. Well, guess what? Others have similar opinions or worse. So once again, Mr. Fankhanel, hope you're doing great. I hope you're enjoying your retirement. I don't know if you still work for the University of Puerto Rico, but your relative is a huge hypocrite, pointing fingers at me when he has done worse. I've never slept with any female there. So Ray, my buddy, my brown DEI buddy that got there because of that privilege, I mean, I'm actually glad that these ideologies are being defunded by the current administration because that's garbage to me. Why don't you come out straight with, no pun intended with the comment. Why don't you come out straight, with that reality? Why don't you be honest? But guess what? Even if you do, I know they're gonna protect you because you're a little darker than me. And again, Judge Arias doesn't care for justice. He's not a, to me, in my opinion, he's not even a judge. I mean, he's not. He's just pathetic. He's not a judge. A judge represents justice, and he does not represent justice at all. And he knows it. And most people know that that is the reality of the justice system in America. In this case, the federal justice system, which a lot of people look up to as a great moral entity, when that is far from that. Far, far from that. It's just that the federal government is pretty good at hiding their tracks and hiding their darkness. So, Fankhanel, once again, sit down with your boy Ray. And of course, you're not going to do that. You guys are going to stick together like family usually does. I'll forgive you. Oh, great. In my case, nobody forgave me. The forgiveness towards me, well, it doesn't exist because we just simply don't like you. We don't like people that speak the truth. Well, if you didn't like me while I was working there because I spoke truth and I had an opinion which the Constitution should protect, well, now that I'm not there anymore, my opinions have become more public and more raw, and it'll continue to be expressed. Because if you guys did not care for many others doing many, many, many horrifying things, you should not care about me now. Okay? You guys, I guess you guys thought you got rid of me for my comments. Well, no, you're not getting rid of me that easily. I'm going to continue creating these videos. With the passage of time, they're going to become more intense, more entertaining, because right now they're technically boring. But for now, I'll just take it at my pace. But I'm never going away, believe me. I'm not going away. So Fankhanel, hey buddy, it's nice to keep you in mind. I mean, we had conversations back then when you were there. I think you were a pretty cool guy. Again, I have my own opinions on your community, just like I have an opinion on many communities, but it's an opinion, and the Constitution is there for a reason. And if you have any contacts with any judges, any friendships with, especially with Arias, let him know that when he was appointed, he rose his hand that he would uphold the Constitution for everybody. And that includes people's opinions, whether popular or not. And if he's going to judge me for my jokes, because that's what they were, If he's gonna judge me for my jokes, he should do the same with everybody else there that has similar jokes or worse. At least my jokes were not made public. They were just between me and one person. Others joke at it openly, just like the gay community. Like Luis T jokes badly about or comments badly about God, Bible, and so forth. So again, Fankhanel, nice to hear from you, which is just me ranting again. But it is sad. It is sad that uh, our federal government is such disgustingly hypocritical when it comes to targeting people and covering up for others. Well, till next time.